is going to learn you to fight like a bear. Now, come on, I'm going to show you. Life's not a spectator sport. If watching is all you're going to do, then you're going to watch your life go by without you. What is it you want most? Genie, I wish for you to make me a prince. Wake up! The prince is born! So, we are all connected in the great circle of life. It's a big one. You got something I've never seen before. I can feel it right down these stubby bow legs of mine. There is nothing you can't do, kid. Love is the most precious of tokens. It reveals itself in unexpected ways. You're gonna grant me any 3 wishes I want, right? Just a little bit of peace and destiny. To infinity and beyond!
All right, so welcome to today's recap of the Disney version of our Hangout today. So again, as usual, make sure you pay attention to the ending and the whole video really, so you can email me the tagline. So one of the things we did, we started off our Hangout talking about Disney memories and all that stuff, and I introduced a new Koosh. So today's new Koosh, I never really bring it into school because it's got a lot of rubber, but it's completely Disney. So check it out. Its name is Minnie Mouse. Look at that. It's Minnie Mouse. See? Pretty cool. So yeah, like if I threw this at someone, or if you got hit from the back of the seat, throwing back of the classroom, like someone throwing a 5-pointer, and you got hit by the rubber parts, especially like the shoes. I don't know. This could be dangerous to get hit by. It's not a normal Koosh. This is hard rubber there. So we shared a lot of Disney moments, and I shared that one of the cool things, or we also shared some good news. So one of the good news things I had was I ended up getting a tent. So let me see if I can share with you a tent I got from my backyard, and then we'll totally get into all this exponent rule stuff. I'm sure you're loving it. So yeah, it's a huge tent that I was able to put in my backyard, and it looks like that. Yeah, so I have a little wooded area that I put it in, but that's what it looks like. It's pretty fun. All right, so that's my good news. That's my Disney memory, and that's my story. Sticking to it. So let's talk about these exponent rules, because not everybody, was with us yesterday doing the work. So I wanted to go through, like I did with this super base video, some important rules that we learned. So here's super base, but it's about not Nicki Minaj, but exponent rules.
I will show you one way, so it just makes sense. When it comes upon a test, you don't be afraid. Listen to my rhymes and you'll be safe. The rules, they cool, don't be a fool. You just gotta
feel free to dance at home.
It's time now to have some fun.
All right, so this was the first rule we learned yesterday, or one of the rules we learned in yesterday's video reference. Anything to the power of 0. What do you think? Is it going to be 0 or is it going to be 1?
To a 0, then the answer is 1.
1. Anything to the power of 0.
The answer is 1. Listen to a 0, then the answer is 1. 0, then the answer is 1. Answer is 1. Answer is 1.
No matter what, it's always 1. So if you don't believe me, I did this in the scientific calculator. Look at all these different numbers raised to the power of 0. It's always 1. Yeah, no matter what, anything to the power of 0 is 1. But I was showing them in the other class, like if you don't have the parentheses, see how it's parentheses -5 to the 0? If you don't have those parentheses and you just put to the power of 0, it's actually going to give me a -1. And then there's this big math fight or debate of what is 0 to the power of 0. Wait, not 0 squared. We all know that's 0. But 0 to the power of 0, according to this scientific calculator, is just 1. But some people argue that 0 to the 0 should just be 0, but it's 1. I don't know. You could debate that for another day. Then we looked at this fancy rule, which is the negative exponent rule right here. So you gotta, anytime you see a negative exponent, you gotta get rid of that. Not cool at all. So you always gotta get rid of that. So there it is. This is my favorite part. I just like visually how it shows it. So you take -3, the exponent, and it flips down. There's an assumed like fraction line and a 1 there, so it goes like this. Notice how the negative 3 becomes a positive 3. So then we did that as an example, like we were actually, let me show you, for example. So say I was doing this here on my Pivo. We did some examples to make sure we understood the rule. So say I did, let's see, let's do P for prints. It has to do with today's tagline. So the first part of today's tagline is prints. So P to the negative 5. Sorry, my phone notifications are going crazy. So if you had P to the negative 5, thinking back to that video, right? I think if I do it here, I'll do it the same way. Like, check it out. So if you look here, I play that part again here. Wait, let me fast forward a little bit right there. Yeah. So now if I do that here, flip it over the bar, there's an assumed bar there, and a 1, it would become 1 over P to the positive 5. Remember, prints is part of our tagline today. So then we also took a look quickly at the, and so also we talked about this, that sometimes if it's at the bottom, a negative exponent, it would then come up to the top like that, okay? The other rule we learned and talked more about was, going back to the video here, was, oh, it wasn't in the video. Well, it kind of is actually. I think it's like in the beginning of the video. Where is it? No, not that. This right here, actually, I should show this to the other class. So we learned here that basically when you have a products raised to a power, you distribute that power to everything on the inside. Same thing with quotient, so it would look like this.
Don't look like a fool. I mean, sigh. Just give it a try. You took your
so you take your exponents and multiply.
Multiply. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Somebody please multiply. Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh, stop pushing people.
You took your
So see, it would be x to the 10th, because power to a power, and y to the 6th, like that. So that was the other rule we looked at. Then we went over the work from yesterday that some people did and some people didn't. So I'll go through this with you now. So number 1, yesterday's work, it was 3x to the negative 2. Now it doesn't, this negative 2 exponent doesn't affect the 3, but it does bring something down. So it's definitely not these. The answer here was D. Cross the line, change the sign, positive 2. Number 2. What would that change to? 1 over 2 to the positive 4. Yeah, so 2 to the positive 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It's actually 1 over 16. C. Number 3. Same bases, add the exponents. So what would be the right answer here? C. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. Number 4, this is also power to a power. You get 9 to the what? Negative 16, which reduces to not that, but this. Cross the line, change the sign. Same thing here. You use the addition of same basis. You get x, not x, 5 to the negative 2. Which reduces to 1 over 25, like that, because that becomes 1 over 5 squared, which is 1 over 25. This is the last one that I could find that use this rule. So here you add the exponents, 5 to the power of 0, because you get 5 to the 2 plus negative 2. So anything to the power of 0 is just 1. I quickly took people through the answers to the classwork. Also, in part of yesterday's classwork, where was it? I'm going to show it to you. I don't have it somewhere. Wait for it. Apparently, I don't have it. put that paper. Sorry. But we did go over, well, I can show it to you. Damn, it bothers me. I can't find it. Oh, well, I'm going to probably find it later. I don't need it at all. Let me just check to see. No, whatever. So then how we did end class, though, is we ended with doing these 8 questions. So I want you to pause the video and try these 8 questions, and then we'll go over them. All right, so if you tried it, did you get, we'll go through it. Did you get, for this, add the exponents w to the 13th? Here, quotient rule, subtract the exponents w to the 6th. Here, power to a power, multiply y to the 12th. Power to a power, multiply 8 to the 12th. Here, cross the line, change the sign, 1 over m to the 4th. Here was interesting, I'll tell you, because this had to do with part of yesterday's video reference. You just do the normal thing with the coefficients. 3 times 2 is 6. Then you add your exponents because they're the same basis to the 9th. Here, when you subtract, kind of funny thing, here you get -4. 8 minus 12 is -4, which is 1 over x to the positive 4. Last but not least, here, same thing I highlighted, just your coefficients. You just divide. 20 divided by 4 is still 5. Then you subtract your exponents to the 4th. So minus me not being able to find some of that classwork from yesterday that I still can't find anywhere, really. It's going to bother me. Oh, well. So that was pretty much what we did. You're probably waiting for the rest of the tagline for today. So the first part of the tagline was Prince. And then we listened to a Aladdin song today, Prince Ali. So I think that's how you spell Ali. So today's tagline that you're going to email me is Prince Ali. We'll be back at it on Friday with some more practice. I'm sorry, tomorrow we'll have some more practice with all these different rules. And I think I was talking to Mr. Justin, I think Friday when we meet, we're going to try to do a cahoots with all this stuff. And then last but not least, on Monday, I'm not going to be doing a personal day. So that means no substitute, just no math work for Monday. So that's it. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys on Friday.